What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition Season 19 Episode 5 review. But before I begin, as you can see, I have finally hit 50K. Thank you guys so much for getting me here. This has been a long-term goal of mine, and I finally reached it, and I'm just so thankful and grateful to God and to all of you. But first, I have to say thank you to Ty Said What Ty Said. She helped me a lot behind the scenes to get to this point, so I just have to say thank you again to her, because she has been such a huge blessing and a great friend to me. I love you, Ty. And I just have to say thank you to every T Squad member out there who has subscribed to my channel, who has left comments, who have liked videos. I just cannot thank you guys enough. I love you all immensely. You all are my extended family. You all have brightened my day on days where I was sad or just felt like giving up, or when I was going through cancer a few months ago. All of your prayers and your words of encouragement meant the world to me. Like, you guys will never understand how much it meant to me to have such great people in my life that actually care. So thank you guys so much. I can't wait to get to 100K. So continue to subscribe, continue to share my videos with your family and friends, because it doesn't go unnoticed. Monday, I'm going to go live, and I'm going to do my purse giveaway. So make sure you guys tune in Monday when I go live for my purse giveaway. I'm just so happy, like, you guys have no idea. But anywho, enough of that. Let's get into tonight's episode. So on tonight's episode of Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition, we start off with Emmett and Gangsta Boo in their room. And he is just quite frankly tired of Gangsta Boo trying to run him, tell him what to do, talking to him crazy. She literally does talk to that man like he is a child. I don't know if it's because he's white and she just feel like she could talk to him any kind of way. But that is just so unattractive, and she really needs to work on that immediately. Then we see Lyrica and A1 in their room, and they lie and say that they need to call their son to check on them so they can get their phones. But literally when they get their phones, she on social media showing him some glasses that she talking about buying, and they just scrolling, and we don't see them call their child at all. So Judge Toller and Dr. Ish are like, these scamming ass motherfuckers here. Like, because you ain't supposed to have your phone like that, you know, doing experience, because they don't want any information leaking out about who's in the cast. And so the fact that they using their son as an excuse to get their phone and then not even calling them, from what we saw, that's a bit much for me. Like, you don't use your child in that type of manner. Like, to me, that's kind of like burning bread a little bit. So it's time for everybody to do their group session, and Lyrica and A1 are late. Come to find out, they have been late majority to everything, holding up everyone. And that's one thing that I do not play about, is being late and wasting people's time. It's just so disrespectful, and it shows that you have no regard for others. I don't like that at all. So K. Michelle says in her confessional, what hit record do you have? You don't even have fans to wait on you to come to the stage. Baby, K be reading the hell out of Lyrica, child. I be cracking up. Now, when they got into it on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I thought that Kay went too hard on her or whatever. But after watching this show, I see what Kay was talking about when it comes to Lyrica. And I'll get more into that in a minute. So then Lyrica and them coming to the living room, and she called herself confronting Rich about not liking her game that they played on last week's episode, and said that, you know, he snitched on her or something to that effect or whatever. And I'm like, girl, your game was whack. It caused drama. You weren't abiding by the rules. You act like you a goddamn licensed therapist, and instead of participating and doing what you got to do and working on your own shit, you trying to run everybody else. Like, you trying to act like you a part of the staff. Like, and you need to sit down. So be quiet. Now, granted, like she said, if you ain't want to play the game, you ain't have to play the game, which I agree. I would have told her, no, I'm going to do what Dr. Ish said. If you want to play a game with yourself or with your nigga. Now, Dr. Ish then locks them all in their rooms, and they have to figure out how to get out. We've seen this game played on the show before. One person has on goggles, blacked out goggles they can't see, and the other person has to guide them around their room to find clues in order to get out of the handcuffs or whatever. So Gangsta Boo, of course, is yelling at Emmett like he a dog. He immediately just gives up, because who wants somebody hot ass breath yelling at them and shit all goddamn day? And she got a loud, rough voice anyway. Don't nobody want to hear all that. K. Michelle ain't even paying no attention to poor Casson, and he damn near killed himself in the bathroom, falling over in the tub. And that's when she decided to be attentive and like actually participate in what they're doing. Lyrica and A1 doing Lyrica and A1. He's trying to explain and talk to her, and she over talking him because she thinks she know everything and don't want to be told nothing. And this show really showed the other side of their relationship, and I see why he probably, not to say that it's right, but I see why he probably cheats on her, because she constantly kind of like almost emasculates him. Like, she doesn't allow him to be the man. It's like she want to be the man. She want to say what it is. It's her way or the highway. And if you don't do what Lyrica wants you to do, then she tune you out and she don't want to be bothered. Like, a man wants to be with somebody that wants to listen to them, that cares about their opinions and the things that they have to say, and that allows them to lead. And she doesn't allow him to do that. So, K. Michelle and Caston end up finishing first, and then Rich and Mariah. Lyrica and A1 and Gangsta Boo and Emmett don't even finish because they dumb, and all they did was argue the whole time. So then later on that day, everybody changes and they meet back up in the living room for their next group session, and Lyrica and A1 happen to be already there, and Kay makes a comment about Lyrica and A1 beating them to the group session. And Lyrica in her confession was like, I ain't did nothing to her. Like, what she mean by that? Like, if she was feeling some type of way, she could have just came and talked to me, since we supposed to be cool or whatever. I mean, obviously other people in the house have made comments about the fact that y'all always late. Hell, you always late. So it's not a big surprise. So we then do another group session. In this group session, they have to plan a pizza party together, and each couple has their own thing that they need to do. So Mariah, Lynn, and Rich have to make pizzas together, but the gag is they have to be in one oversized shirt and a pair of pants together. And so K. Michelle and Caston have to make cupcakes. Lyrica and A1 have to fix the chairs and put them together. And then Gangsta Boo and Emmett have to do the flower arrangements. So while they're doing their task, Mariah is cursing and stuff, and Rich scolding her, talking, stop cursing, da 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 da. And she, of course, don't like the way he talking to her, because she feels like he's belittling her and making her feel like, she ghetto, she trashy or whatever. So she immediately quits, because she like, I'm not your child, and you're not gonna tell me how to talk, which is true. But I can see where both sides coming from, because I'm a person that curses a lot, but there's a time and a place for everything. And I think that's what he was trying to convey. He just conveyed it in the wrong way. It came out like a parent scolding a child. So Lyrica becomes bored and decides that she just gonna lay on the couch and go to sleep. This girl, like, you literally clearly only came on this show for the check. You knew damn well you didn't want to be with this nigga no more. That's why you didn't give a fuck. You weren't really there to work on shit. You just came there for the money, which is not a problem to me. But if you gonna come, at least pretend like you invested. Jesus. So Mariah talks to Dr. Ish about, Rich talking to her like she his child, and how that makes her want to rebel against him. And she says that, he knows that she's been in abusive relationships in the past, and she says that she's not scared of Rich, but based on her past relationships, he does make her feel some type of way. And we find out that some months ago she was in an abusive relationship where the guy kicked her in the leg and fractured her leg in several places, and she feels like if he would just act right and be with her, she wouldn't even been placed in that situation to be with somebody like that. But you can't put that blame on that man. You know what I'm saying? You got to look into you to see why you keep on attracting men that are abusive. That's something that you have to personally work on. And just because Rich isn't physically hitting you does not mean that what he's doing or y'all situation ain't abusive. It's toxic as hell. You're putting yourself in a position where you want to be with somebody who doesn't even want to claim you. Like, you're good enough to fuck, but that's about it. You know, so, and he keep on dealing with you, and I don't know if he's selling you a dream, but you better wake the fuck up. So, where was I at? She also says that she's afraid to be herself around him because, you know, he's always critiquing her, you know, and especially when, well, Mariah is 31, which I still consider young, because when I was 31, I think back on when I was 31 and I still had a bunch of growing to do. Even though I was 31, I'm like, I'm grown, da, da, da. Baby, you still got so much more learning to do at 31, child. Hell, I'm 40, about to be 41, and I still got so much more learning to do about life, love, relationships, and all of that type of stuff. And so I can understand how at 31, she's afraid to be who she is around him, you know, especially because she likes him so much and she wants to appease him and make him want her. And so if I be myself, then he's not gonna want me. But girl, you gotta love you, boo-boo. You gotta love you before a man can ever love you. So she goes back inside after talking to Dr. Ish and explains to Rich in a calm manner why she left in the first place. And he tells her calmly that he was just trying to protect her. Like, I guess, you know, from his point of view, he was trying to look out for her because he don't want people, you know, saying she ghetto, she this, and that, and the third, because that stigma is already on her based off of Love and Hip Hop. So if he would have just said that, then things would have went totally different. So it's all about, once again, how you talk to people. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So Dr. Ish then goes into the living room where Lyrica and A1 are sitting on the couch trying to put these chairs together on their laps. And A1 explains to him why they're doing it, and they're doing it because she too lazy to sit her ass down on the floor. She think that they could do it while the pieces are sitting on their lap. Well, anybody that has ever put anything together knows you cannot do nothing like that while sitting on your butt and having the shit on your lap. You have to be on a solid, flat surface. So, of course, Lyrica got something to say in rebuttal, and Dr. Ish calls her out and was like, why do you have a problem with everything? Like, why? Like, girl, like, I'm starting to see, like, you're a big part of this problem. Yeah, he cheated on you, and that's wrong as fuck. Wrong as hell. But, girl, you are annoying as fuck. Annoying as hell. Sheesh. And Dr. Ish basically tell her, like, you need to step back and listen to him, because A1 do be speaking a lot of truths a lot of time. So then Gangsta Boo and Emmett continue to argue because she continues to belittle him and talk to him crazy. And he gives up. Once again, he gives up and he walks away, and she talking underneath her breaths, calling him a little boy and calling him a bitch and this, that, and the third. Like, and then now you wonder why his kids don't like you. You on national television call their damn daddy a fucking bitch, girl. If y'all don't break the fuck up, all of these couples need to leave each other the fuck alone. Except for Mariah Lynn and Rich. I feel like if he finally sit his old withered dick down and act like he has some sense, maybe they could work it out. So Lyrica once again gives up and stops. She don't want to participate, so she literally gets out of the shirt and goes and does her own thing, and K. Michelle peeps it. And K. Michelle then says in her confessional what caused them to get into it in the first place back in the day, and it was because she had asked Lyrica to open up for her while on some tour dates, and Lyrica showed up late, and when she got there had the nerve to be trying to tell people, like, to make sure they got this, that, and the third for her, and everybody like, girl, you like 45 minutes late, like, we ain't got time for all that. And now, based off of seeing this show, I 100% believe K Michelle, because her story did not change from like 4 or 5 years ago when all this took place on the show. So now that we see that Lyrica is late, I 100% believe K Michelle that she has this pompous elitist ass attitude like the world revolves around her, and it fucking don't. So A1 and Lyrica, when it comes time to sit down and eat, didn't finish the chairs. So it's only enough chairs for everybody, for the guys to sit down, and then they told the girls to sit on their guys' lap. Like, everybody else doing what the fuck they gotta do, and y'all ass is once again half-assing everything and ruin it for everybody else. Like, they getting on my motherfucking nerves. So Dr. Ish, once he sits down and talks to the group after the exercise, calls Lyrica out and tells her that the way that she argues, needs to change because she don't listen to nobody. Like, she don't listen. And Judge Tola tells her that she checks out when she's not interested, and she agrees about that. She does that. So then Judge Tola tells Rich that he needs to listen and validate Mariah instead of always thinking that he know how she feel and what she gonna say before she say it. And then she tells Gangsta Boo to watch how she talks to Emmett. Like, that girl talked to him bad. Like, girl, you already look like a nigga. No need to act like one. Calm the fuck down. And then she tells K Michelle that when she's basically kind of supportive, like, she's wonderful, but it takes her a minute to get there. Like, if you could be that way all the time, things would be so much better between you and Caston. So after they do their group session, K Michelle asks for her phone. She asks one of the producers for her phone, and the producer says, okay, you can get your phone after you do your confessional. She was like, okay, didn't have no attitude about it, very compliant. Okay. Then we see Lyrica and A1 asking the producers for their phone, and the producer was like, we already gave y'all phone twice today, and y'all saw what they was on there doing. Instead of calling their son, they was on there looking at clothes and shit. So they all like, we gotta call our son, we grown, you can't tell us not to call our son, you can't tell us when we can get our phones. Like, dude, you know how the fuck reality television goes, especially this show. Stop it. Like, they up here having fucking temper tantrums, causing the scene because they want their fucking phone, knowing damn hell at this point I'm like, are y'all gonna really call the little boy to check on him? So A1 then says, well, Kay got her phone, and Caston overhears it, and him and Rich are walking down the hall, and he was like, man, you hear him down there snitching? And Rich just shake his head. So Rich goes to do his own confessional, and Caston goes into the room and tells K Michelle what was said. And Kay, she get to going off of shit. Why the fuck they worried about me? Why the fuck they snitching on me? She yelling and shit. Rich hears her yelling from the confessional, and he get up to go in the hallway to see what's going on. K Michelle called Lyrica a snitch ass bitch. She said that shit hard as hell too. Mind you, she's saying all this shit while in the comfort of her room. Like, she didn't go out the room to say all of this. Lyrica then yelling at one of the producers, get my phone now. And I'm like, girl, who is you talking to? Why are y'all disrespecting these staff members? Like, come on now. Like, so unprofessional. So then K Michelle finally make her way out in the hall talking shit. She really wasn't even trying to get past Caston. Like, K Michelle was not trying to fight nobody. Mind you, she still was healing from surgery. That girl was not trying to fight nobody. So I'm like, you doing all that yelling and for what? Because you're not about to swing. You pushing Caston post left like you really trying to do something, and you ain't want to fight. So A1 then turns into the fucking Incredible Hulk, flexing whatever muscles he think he got, and demanding his phone, and telling me he gonna tear the house up and knocking over shit and yelling at people. I'm like, all of this over a phone, sir? Really, people? Meanwhile, Lyrica just pacing back and forth. She not saying nothing while K Michelle cussing them out. Then the next thing we see is K Michelle in the doorway once again pushing Caston and ain't trying to fight nobody. Lyrica then decides once the door is closed on K Michelle's room to come out and fight her. Girl, you ain't trying to fight neither. You can't fight. Like, everybody is just on some fugazi shit, doing the most and doing the less. Like, ain't nobody trying to fight. So have several, please. Everybody have several. But I will say that A1 throwing K under the bus, not even knowing that she was told she could have her phone. Like, what you hating for? Like, I would understand, like, why you bringing my name into this? Like, I didn't have anything to do with that whole situation. So I will say that Lyrica, this was not a good look for her being on this show. We really get to see another side of her outside of Love and Hip Hop, where she plays the victim role, because on here we see that she is very bratty. She is very bitchy. She disregards other people's time and feelings. She always trying to run something, and you can't tell her ass nothing. And A1 literally just does whatever the fuck she do. He running behind her. So, yeah, she's annoying to me, and I'm sick of them. And I just can't wait to see who the fuck brought cocaine into the house. Once we saw what's going to happen on the rest of this season. Who y'all think going to be the one that's found with cocaine in their bags? I think that it's going to be either Gangsta Boo and Emmett, or K Michelle and Casting, because they didn't show them when the couples, do the whole ceremony at the end, but they could have did that to do a bait and switch on us. So I'm really thinking that it's gonna be Emmett and Gangsta Boo, because they look like some coke heads. But yeah, let's talk down below in the comment section. Thank you again, you guys, for helping me to reach 50K. Don't forget, this Monday I'm gonna go live and do a giveaway, some giveaways as a matter of fact. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna spontaneously go live, so whoever catches it. So be on your P's and Q's. Yeah, I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be doing reviews, so don't worry. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.